Yeah, we're early. About what? 3 seconds? Hell yeah. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Lots to discuss today. Man, oh man. Did David Corenswet already give up the fact that we're getting a sequel to Superman? Possible. Looks like there's a big old split in The Last of Us. That's right. I'm not talking about in the story. I'm talking about what's going on behind the scenes. Something went down, and we'll discuss just that because we have tons of stuff to discuss, man. I'm so excited to have Chris Carr on the show. I'm excited to have Brett on the show because we are going to do some spoilers for Ironheart. Brett is the only person out of the three of us who has seen Squid Game, surprisingly. So we'll talk about that. And that's about it, man. So let's get into it, everybody. It is Kristian Harloff Show here today. Myself, Chris Carr, Brett Sheridan. Here we go. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Joining me on this Wednesday, I can say, as always, now, Chris Carr is here. Hello, Chris.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Have you? And is this an, as always, also 2 weeks in a row? Why are we so blessed? Brett, 2 weeks in a row?
Who knows? Who knows why you're so blessed?
But, I know. Look at us. We're like a band. Me and you have the black shirts on.
It's not because I'm going to be heavily promoting my show or anything.
Well, that's it. That's it. Did you send me the
appreciate that honesty.
Yeah, this is true. Did you send me the intro?
I haven't yet. I'm going to hold off a week like you suggested.
Okay.
Is anybody else's ears ringing, or is that just a personal thing?
It's just yours.
Perfect.
Do you have tinnitus now?
Maybe.
I hope not. My mom has it, so.
You also could literally be losing a frequency.
Also, Chris, you want to see Brett get irritated fast?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. So, Brett, why does Chris's lighting look so much better than mine?
Oh, because as soon as I leave, you don't do all the settings.
I did everything you told me to, is just hit the button.
No, she has more of a depth of field. She has more of a distance behind her. But we're going to work on, I'm trying to learn about LUTs, LUTS, that'll help you out to make you pop a little bit more. And we'll fix it.
What about putts?
Putts. How do you feel that I'm just with the camera on my it
looks better than mine
laptop just in the living room?
Yeah.
Stunning.
Listen, we got stories to discuss. And the first one that we're going to discuss is the fact that Superman is right around the corner. It is literally, I'm going to see it next Tuesday. So I'll have my out of the theater reaction on Tuesday morning. Excited about that. But it looks like we might already have gotten a confirmation that there's a sequel. And it looks like it's the film's star, David Corenswet, that said it. So that's a cool poster, by the way. All eyes are on Superman to be the movie that turns the DC's brand fortunes around. But is filmmaker James Gunn already working on a sequel? Comments from actor Wendell Pierce, wasn't David Corenswet, I lied, appeared to suggest so. Warner Brothers Discovery is going all in on Superman with a marketing campaign likely to have cost as much as the movie did to produce when it's all said and done. DC Studios co-CEO and Superman writer-director James Gunn has said that he'd be happy if the movie breaks even. However, it's surely vital for DC's future that the Man of Steel's big screen return be deemed a hit. Ultimately, it begins one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer with how it will play much. Ultimately, it being one of the biggest blockbusters of the summer will play much better than an endless series of articles from the trains about why it flopped, which would be next summer's Supergirl, and that would give it no favors. Time will tell on that front, but is Gunn confident enough in its success to already be planning a sequel? Asked by Collider whether he took anything from Superman's set, Perry White actor Wendell Pierce said, "It's a hot set. You don't want to mess it up because, the sequel is..." Never mind. As the Thunderbolt star inadvertently let the Superdog out of the bag. I hate that sentence. It's hard to say, as he may have just been having fun. However, Gunn has strongly hinted that he's working on a follow-up of some sort. When I'm working on in some way, I mean, yes. Filmmaker said when he asked if there was sequel plans, but is it a straight-up Superman sequel? I would say not necessarily. I always leave. I'm going to say direct something until I'm actually done with the screenplay, and then I say, yeah, I want to do this, but it's probably what I will direct. Yes, probably to be totally realistic. Yes, probably. Rumors continue to swirl at World's Finest, which is a Batman-Superman team-up, might be next. Either way, we'd expect the Daily Planet set to play a returning role in the DCU, and certainly whichever projects Clark Kent appears in. So I don't know. I read this, Chris, and I get I don't know the context in which the actor was asked and or how he responded. Where he's like, "Oh, the sequel. Never mind." Like, or was it like, "Oops, I shouldn't have said that." And even if he did, I mean, it's kind of like a no shit at this point. We know that this movie, if it does well, is going to get a sequel, right?
Yeah. I mean, in what world are you going to go? No, we're going to make one Superman movie and we're never going to see him again. We don't want to have him back. No. And the context of this too, I watched a little interview and they were just talking about, did you take anything from set? Did you have anything that you wanted to keep with you? And Wendell Pierce, who, I mean, is an incredible actor. Juilliard trained, I mean, The Wire, Treme, all kinds of stuff, was just talking about, oh no, that's just not professional to do because it's a hot set. You don't want to mess up continuity. And of course, with the sequel, never mind. And everyone on set just kind of was like,
right. But did it
feels
seem
like
he was joking around or did he catch himself?
It felt like to me, it felt like a very deliberate, plus since we're for sure getting another movie.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how I took it. Maybe that's not what he meant by it, but that's how it feels. And again, I just feel like if you're going to invest in creating a DC universe, Supes is in the center of it. So it might not be a direct sequel that we're getting at some point in time, but we've already had Murmurs of World's Finest and team ups and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to have something else with him unless this movie completely shits the bed.
Which it doesn't seem like it's going to be. And it seems like the marketing is obviously where they're going to need to make the money back because rightfully so. They really it's working. They're getting the word out there. They're spending the money and they're getting the word out there. So yeah, I think this is kind of a no-brainer. I still think that it is a mistake for them to, depending on how they do it, to just jump into a Batman movie. You got to set it up. You have to do a Batman movie first, which I think they might do. Do you think that that's the case?
I think so. And we've already had some talk about that perhaps being with Batman and Damian, which I do think is kind of a weird place to start.
Right.
Of, hey, here's Bruce Wayne and also his son that he didn't know about. But we also all, for the most part, if you're looking at what's in with the pop culture zeitgeist, most people know Batman's backstory, right? We know that he had his parents killed in an alley. We know that the pearls went everywhere. We know that he is a man who dresses up as a bat. So it could be an interesting take to jump in there, but you do have to have him in your universe first, I think, before you do a full-on team-up movie.
Yeah, it didn't work last time. They tried doing it that way, and it didn't work that way. But Brett, I have a more important question for you. Why do I have a craving for vanilla ice cream right now?
Oh, I don't know. Is it my face? Is it my light skin?
No, just for some reason I said, what would be good right now is a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I don't ever really eat it, and I figured you'd be able to help me out. Tell me why.
I've been making myself like mocha ice creams with or coffee, so that might be why you can smell it on my virtual
vibe. I got the vibe. Yeah. I don't know either way. So jumping back to that, there's gonna be a lot of random thoughts on this today, and I don't care. I figured it's good. Yes, I did the same thing when I was watching Ironheart, which we'll discuss. I was craving for some kind of food. I've been a lot of cravings for food lately. But again,
Kristian, you're not gonna believe this, but I did.
Maybe.
Oh, that could be it.
Possible.
You're not gonna believe this, but I actually did watch the clip of the reveal of this, and I agree with Chris. It didn't seem like somebody that is going to lose their job.
Wait, you can't reveal that and not get your own shot. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. No, it didn't seem like somebody that was like really screwed up and was going to lose, their job over this reveal. I mean, it was a very it seemed a little planned-ish to me, or just a non-reveal. So
a nothing burger.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, again, I think that this is more so of like, hey, the hype is right there. He's already, if you're James Gunn and you're confident in this movie and you're saying, hey, look, guys, we're going to be moving this thing forward. It looks like it's tracking. I'm feeling pretty confident because I think that the difference is because this marketing, their campaign, it's like 200 million or whatever it might be. And also that is where a lot of times people say, well, why in the world did they allow the filmmakers to spend this much money and on the film itself? And the marketing campaign is a direct kind of result of the studio going, we need to get the word out on this film. This is very important. This is crucial. We're going all in. We're going to fire the financial tanks at it, if you will. And this is what they are doing. So I think there will be a little leeway in the numbers when it's coming back is the first numbers he's saying makes even. I think the first number they have to do is make up that production budget. That's the first. Because once that's made up, they go, okay, we did our job. Now we have to now make the marketing budget back. And then they make that back and they go, okay, now everything is, let's go. Let's take it to the bank. So, and I think, and normally that's a lot of times how, well, that's what always happens. Yeah, but it's different here because, again, is the movie's good? Like, let's say it's good like Thunderbolts. Like, and it has those kind of results. I think that starts to weigh, Chris, more so on the public's appetite for these types of movies. If it's as good, let's say it's as good and it's a quality movie and it doesn't do well, that's got to be the audience goes, we're just tired. We don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I think we do have a really big issue with getting people in theaters because we are seeing certain films too have that second life on streaming, even when we have really wonderful quality things. Because now I feel people like an experience. They want to go to the movie theater for a big event, it feels like sometimes. Yep. And that's for people mostly outside of our kind of movie bubble, right? Of, oh, going to the movies is so second nature to me of just, yeah, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go catch any movie, even if I'm not that interested in it, because I love going to the movies and I love that experience with others. So we have to kind of combat that. We all got complacent from the pandemic. We all have these streaming services and we go, oh, this movie is probably going to be on streaming in 2 to 4 weeks. No biggie if I miss it. I will say, though, the Superman marketing has been really, really clever, particularly what they're doing on socials. They're being so smart about stuff of just using Instagram and TikTok trends and really just kind of jumping in so that younger audiences will get reminded and not through traditional media, but going and logging on to their favorite social app and going, oh my gosh, look at David Corenswet doing the boyfriend trend of you better listen to him and be nice to him. People love that stuff.
100%. I mean, I think, Brett, so in your household, because you don't have like the movie fans, are they aware, not that they're not movie fans, but they're like not in the space. Are they aware of Superman, the movie coming up?
I don't believe so. Yeah, my wife probably, but my kids are actually not movie fans. Like they're not, They don't take in long form content.
Are they home? Are they home?
Yeah.
Scream out to one of them, see what movies that are coming out this summer that they're aware of. I'm very curious. Because we have this discussion on the show all the time about people, because yesterday the conversation with Roxy and myself was that you were talking about Adria Arjona potentially becoming Wonder Woman. And she said, well, the difference is that if you look at David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan, like she's on a different kind of star level than them. I said, I don't think so. I said, I think she's on this, maybe in our space for people more aware of her, but she's not a common name. Like she doesn't have those types of things. We're going back and forth. I said, I would even argue that Rachel Brosnahan was more known at the time when she was cast because of the various Emmys that she had won for Maisel, as where Adria Arjona was not. So we kind of had a friendly discussion about that yesterday. But we're like, because I just don't think the regular audience is aware of a lot of these things. But Superman, they seem to be aware of. So I was just curious, Brett, when we go to the break,
I'll ask him.
We'll go because we're going to do that in a second. So, all right. What do you guys make of the fact this particular comment? Is it a nothing burger? Do we know that already? Or is it a matter of like, no, we're going all in even if this thing doesn't do well? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. And I'll let you guys know. Hey, man, it is time to talk about Rougiette. I've talked about Rougiette all weekend. Let's continue. All right. I know that you guys know Viagra. I know you know Cialis, and you probably even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond just the usual pill, you got to meet Rougiette Ready. There are other companies that rely on similar ingredients to support the blood flow, but Rougiette Ready is the next-gen prescription treatment designed to help amplify the arousal in the brain and increase the blood flow. So if the usual pills aren't doing the trick, Rougiette Ready could be the answer. It's essentially 3-in-1 formula, dissolves right under your tongue to absorb fast, so you'll be ready in just 15 minutes on average, not hours, and it affects up to 36 hours. That means you can stay confident, you can stay present, and in control when the moment's right. If you want proof, over 150,000 men have made the switch, and you can read their customer reviews right on the site. Now, getting started, that's simple. Rougiette connects you with the board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships to you quickly right to your door. So connect with a provider at rougiette.com/Christian to see if a Rougiette Ready prescription is ready for you. Connect with the provider at rougiette.com/Christian to see if a Rougiette Ready prescription is right for you. you can use that code Kristian to get 15% off today. That is Rougiette, RUGIET.com/Kristian. Use that promo code Kristian, get 15% off today. Head to Rougiette.com/Kristian and use that code Kristian, get 15% off today. Use the code to support the show, and so Rougiette knows that we sent you. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rougiette website for full safety information. Thank you to Rougiette. Again, links are in the description for that. Hope you go and you check it out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to move into some news stories. And before we do, Chris, so we got to get you, we're going for your first victory here. We're going to try.
So.
We're going to try. So Rocha is back on the board in the leader spot. Roxy couldn't catch him yesterday. Rocha's at 130 right now. So it's a big number for John Rocha. We are currently at 15, which is a good number to have already with only 15 minutes in. It's basically one a minute. So look at that.
That's lovely. Before the show even started, thank you so much for people who were putting in little support for Chris and Brett. I love you guys. That's so nice.
That's right. Brett, what did your kid say?
My daughter was napping. But I did wake her up.
Did you really? Did you wake her up?
Yeah.
All right. Goes, you're I was going to say, what kind of team player are you? Well done.
What's a movie coming out? The big movie that I think it came out, How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, did you know there's going to be a new Superman? She goes, I think so. And I asked Blake, and Blake said, no idea what's coming out. And I go, did you know there's going to be a new Superman? He goes, I think so. I don't know. So that's what we got there.
Perfect. But your wife probably knew. I would assume your wife.
Yeah, I think so.
It would make sense.
I mean, all of the members of BTS are back from their tour of duty in Korea. So that's all she's talking
That's all she's talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what we're talking about, again, to you guys, I've told Chris Carr was kind enough the last couple of days because we put the Grasping at Straws pilot up online. And one of the reasons that we're doing that is because we're working on a new project that we're writing the script. The deal is that we're going to finish it up. We're going to get it to this director that I believe is going to read it by the end of the month. And the goal is to put together a Kickstarter to whether we're going to fund the pilot for sure. Then depending what we're able to raise, maybe even just do it on our own tire style and just film the whole season. But I have to thank the audience. I put it up there and I was hoping that people would check it out, and they did. It's right now, it's almost at 8,000 people watching it, over 400 comments on it so far. Wow. So the pilot is up right now, and it's also to get some love to some of those people that put the hard work into it. But Chris, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. The easiest thing to do to support your friends in the arts is watch their stuff. Go to their shows. It's the most baseline thing. And I gotta say, my favorite joke is I'm glad you found your Nietzsche.
Oh, the Nietzsche, right?
I love that.
You know where that came from?
Where?
So when we were doing the table read, and I talked about this, so Tommy, who plays the bartender, who was excellent in the pilot, he was the only one that at one point, the producer, Naveed, who's been on this show, was like, dude, I think we might have to get rid of him. And I was like, he's not hitting his lines, he's not doing it right. And when we were doing the table read, he didn't read Nietzsche, he read Nietzsche. And I go, that's the joke. I was like, that's the joke. I go, the joke is that he said, I was like, and then when we rewrote it, and I said, no, that's it. And we do that, we played it. And then Tommy came back the next day, just was great. And Naveed's like, you're right. I was just nervous. But yeah, that whole thing. I mean, a couple of those jokes, even a few of them, we just there were some that were written on set. There were some that we had developed beforehand. But even this morning, I was thinking, like, because it was so long ago, I was like, the way that I would deliver certain lines now, always hindsight, it's one of those things. But I was really happy with the way the audience kind of responded to it. So thank you to everybody out there who checked it out. If you haven't checked it out, it doesn't cost you a damn thing. Just, it's on the channel now. It's called Grasping at Straws. Maybe if Luke or PLD, if anybody's in there right now, you can put the link in the comments and come check it out. So that's it. Go check that out, because you have a lot of different. I mean, hell, you got Mark Ellis is in there. You get Ken Knapsack, Serena Vincent from Power Rangers and Cabin Fever. Not Another Teen Movie. She's in. Eliza Schlesinger obviously has a major role in the show, and a lot of other people. So go and check it out. Okay. This is a story that that's not the story. Where the hell's the story? Damn you, Brett Sheridan.
I ruined everything.
You did ruin everything. Where is the stupid thing? There was a scoop. Oh, there it is. I see it. And this Last of Us thing, it just kind of really popped up right before we went on the air. It wasn't even in the show notes, so I'm going to even throw the much prepared Chris Carr off here with this one. Improv.
Wow.
So here is The Last of Us. There's a shakeup as a creative duo parts ways. That's right. Game over. Neil Druckmann, who created Last of Us, will depart the series adaptation after working the first 2 seasons with showrunner Craig Mazin. As Hollywood continues to be transfixed by adaptations of the beloved books, hit movies, and iconic TV shows, there is often one key factor in their success. The original creator has blessed the project or is directly involved or in the process from the start. With Hulu's Emmy-winning drama The Handmaid's Tale, for example, author Margaret Atwood was very involved in the series. Showrunner Bruce Miller told me in April, joking that she is as involved as I'm allowed enough time to fit into her schedule. On Game of Thrones, George R. R. Martin consulted and even wrote episodes of the drama from showrunners Benioff and Weiss that was based on his wildly popular unfinished book series. HBO Max's The Pit, on the flip side, what was resulted after the estate of author and ER creator Michael Crichton wouldn't bless a revival of the long-running NBC medical drama from former star Noah Wiley and showrunners and show alums R. Scott Gemnell and John Wells. On HBO's Emmy-winning The Last of Us, which is based on the mega-hit Naughty Dog video game franchise, Druckmann, who co-created the game for Sony's PlayStation, has been so hands-on in bringing his post-apocalyptic story to TV that he has been credited as a writer or co-writer on 5 of the drama's 16 episodes. He's also directed 2 installments. But I have learned that Druckmann, who worked exclusively with Craig Mazin in bringing Ellie and Joel to the HBO audience in season 1, will not have the same involvement in the 3rd, which was announced April 9th ahead of the season 2 premiere. Sources tell me that Druckmann has informed staff at video game developer Naughty Dog, where he served as president of the creative since 2018, he's taking a backseat on the series effective immediately. Today, I dug into this major development. Druckmann's statement to series business, as he plans to share his decision with Naughty Dog staff today, why Druckmann is departing, even as season 3 works has begun, how much of a hand the game co-creator will keep in the HBO series, Druckmann's next project for Naughty Dog, the photo Druckmann shared on Instagram that hinted at his next move, Mazin's statement reacting to the news, who's on season 3 writing team, who else is exiting, and who will be responsible for the game DNA on the show. How Mazin has described his own process as a writer, his discomfort with writers' rooms, and his collaboration with Druckmann. Druckmann's comments earlier this year about a potential 3rd Last of Us game and about the show's 1st season. So that's all the stuff you can get should you read the article. So for me, I wonder, and I could absolutely be wrong on this, is this one of those things where, because it seemed like he had a lot to say with how they changed up a lot of things in season 2, and for the most part, I shouldn't say for the most part, but I should say it wasn't as well received as season 1. I think everybody can agree on that. And with that, maybe HBO executives like, hey, we didn't have the same kind of, we thought this was going to be our big, huge show, and our audience dropped dramatically. Maybe we shouldn't have changed all that stuff. And then we want to stick more to this and that. And he was like, no, well, I wanted to change it up. I did that in the game already. And then there was a back and forth. I'm making all of this up, by the way. And I'm just saying possibly what this could be. And then he's just saying, well, if that's the case, I told that story already. I'm going to do something else. You guys already have the rights. Go have a blast. But then it could be something completely different. What do you read of this, Chris?
I do think that Warner Brothers and HBO as a whole have a tendency to be reactive to things. And so I think this not being as well received as they hoped definitely does kind of steer the ship in a different direction. But that being said, the game wasn't, received as well as the first game either, of, hey, some of these shifts are odd. Losing Joel is a really big deal. I don't know if I want to keep playing this game. So everyone who kind of played the games, or like me, played part of it and then didn't finish, we knew what we were getting into in this season. Right. We just didn't know how it was going to shake out. And some of the things they did were bold and exciting and wild. To do that to some of your main characters so early on, big swing. But I do feel like they had a really great creative balance with each other. It seemed like it was, hey, this is something that worked really great in the game, but a lot of that is it works in gameplay. How do we adapt that for our audience who isn't experiencing that same idea of agency? Because that's what's so cool about video games is you get so invested not only because of the hours you put in, but because you are literally walking in someone else's shoes. It's why you get so connected to these characters and so invested in their stories. So what changes do you do in a 30 to 60 minute format in a narrative storytelling thing that you don't get to have those kind of choose your own adventure moments?
Yeah.
So I don't feel like there's too much bad blood. I feel like in general, Druckmann has just been very honest about where he sees these stories going, how he feels they're being consumed and accepted. And most of the stuff I know too, back in March, I know he was talking about there might not be a Last of Us 3 just because who's to say if that's worth people investing in. It
Is he
costs a
talking
lot
about
of money to
game?
make
He's
a
talking
game.
about game or series?
That's what he was talking about, the game.
No, the game.
So we know for season 3, if that does move on in HBO, that is when we are shifting and having things from Abby's perspective,
Right.
which, and again, guys, I didn't get this far in the game, but I believe that's what happens in the game as well,
Yes,
is we
that is
shift
in the game.
perspectives and have her story kind of play out.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart. Ultimately, I know it's hard to follow somebody who kills your favorite characters and does bad things, but also you're the villain in somebody else's story. There are people in this world who think I'm the worst person. That's fine.
Well, everybody feels out about Brett. Right? Brett, how great he
Yes,
is.
sir.
Literally,
Everyone-
literally no.
That's a
It
hero. in
works.
everybody's story.
He's
You're
a sweetie.
He's a hero in everybody's story.
He's an absolute angel.
He really is.
Aw.
Yeah. So, no, I think that there's a lot of truth to be what you just said, but I think that the difference also sometimes, as we know, in life, that's absolutely true. In a narrative in TV, though, that's who we're following. You know what I mean? And it's like that's who we've been with, and I like that actress was Caitlin Danvers, or did I get it wrong? Dever. Say whatever. Caitlin Dever. You're
And
probably
you
right.
kick that N out of there.
Right.
Dever.
So I think that Caitlin Dever is a very good actress, a great actress. I don't know, no matter who it was, I just don't like the character. I don't know. They're really going to have to do some damn good writing to get me on board with her character. Maybe they do it. Maybe that's what people say in the game, that they can do it. But as far as him leaving, there's going to be more that comes out about why. There really is. It's just too abrupt. Where he's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving now." There was no mention that if this was supposed to happen, we would have heard about it after season 2. After season 2, he's leaving to go work on another game and he's taken off. But something happened in the interim.
I do wonder if it's course correction.
Yeah,
Of, hey, I know we set it up for Abby's story, but people seem to hate that. Or what if we go back and we do this? Or we really need to make this really sympathetic. Yeah. And I think that's where you just can't be a coward if you are going to be this kind of storyteller.
Right.
Of, hey, if I'm going to tell it from the villain's perspective, I'm going to tell it from the villain's perspective.
I think they're still going to go down that route. I don't think they're going to change it, but I think that they're going to. I think what they're going to wind up doing is take less detours from the story that they did, which is bizarre considering you have the guy who created it, but he was the one taking a lot of those. Let's change this up, and instead of doing, instead of having Ellie, instead of having Ellie be upset about the fact that I can't remember what's the girl's name that is following her around, her friend, the woman that was pregnant in the show.
Oh, her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so the fact that it's like, hey, in the game, she's pissed off, and it's all about revenge. Like, well, actually, what if we don't make it just about revenge? What it's about love story too? And it's like, let's just stick to what the story is and what we did in season 1. In season 1, we followed the blueprint. We added some stuff, but we followed the blueprint. And then maybe he's like, well, I did that already. I don't want to follow the blueprint already. And maybe they're like, that's what it's going to come to. Maybe they're just going to follow the blueprint more in season 3. So
I think this show had an uphill battle from the beginning, because if you do stick strictly with the gaming element of it, and like Chris said that she stopped playing it, I played the whole thing, but I can't remember the last one very much. But like it did take a lot of, killing off a main character. It did take a lot of risks. And I think that for a show, that's not going to work so well. Gameplay, and then you're going to get the people that love the game that go like, you're not following the show or the game. I'd like to hate the show. So that's probably why it dropped off, I would say. But
potentially.
I haven't seen the second season. because my
yeah.
son won't take 5 minutes to hang out with us and watch it. We
Oh,
refuse to watch it without him.
He's a teenager, so you should check it out, though, Brett, because I'm curious, someone who did play the game, if you like the changes or don't like the changes. But either way, what do you guys make of it? You think this is a big deal that he's leaving? Not a big deal? Better for the show? Worse for the show? Put your thoughts in there. Let me hear. Speaking of video games, we're going to stay on video games. One of the biggest video games maybe of all time, especially in the arcade, was Street Fighter. It was legendary. There's a new movie coming out, new live action, and some new casting. Look at this. Cody Rhodes, reportedly in talks to play Guile. That's right. WWE former champion. According to a reliable source, Roman Reigns won't be the only WWE superstar to feature in the live-action Street Fighter movie, as Cody Rhodes is in talks to play Guile. Mark Cassidy writes, it seems the upcoming Street Fighter movie could end up featuring at least 2 WWE superstars, following yesterday's news that David Corenswet, that's good casting right there, I love him, has joined the cast of Legendary's live-action video game adaptation as the villainous M. Bison. We're hearing that another key role might have been filled, with Nexus Point News reporting that Cody Rhodes is now in talks to play Guile. Known for his signature flat-top haircut and sonic boom projectile, William Guile debuted as one of the original 8 World Warriors in 1991 Street Fighter II. The tough, no-nonsense U.S. Air Force colonel made it his mission to take down Bison and his Shadaloo criminal empire following the death of his friend, Charlie Nash. Guile was played by Jean-Claude Van Damme in the 90s movies. Andrew Cole, Noah Ciento have reportedly closed their deals to play the co-lead roles of Ryu and Ken, respectively, and Jason Momoa and Roman Reigns are said to be in negotiations. This is a fun cast so far, I got to tell you. Reigns is believed to be in line to play the villainous Akuma, the man who killed Ryu and Ken's trainer, and his own older brother, Guiken. I don't know if I get that right. Oh, Guiken. Nope. It's something else. While several sources are reporting that Mo will take on the role of green-skinned fan favorite Blanca, the cast also includes Kai Lang as Chun-Li, 50 Cent as Balrog. 50 Cent as Balrog? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. As 50 Cent as Balrog, that's good. And Orville Peck as Vega. Numerous characters have been introduced over the years. All right, anyway, so we can keep getting into the cast and everything. It's a pretty solid cast so far, but one of the main things I always think about, and probably not the best, is with that Street Fighter movie, was the late great Raul Julia's last movie that he did was that movie. Yeah. And that movie is not good. It was fun to see because, it was Street Fighter come to life, and it was one of the first starts of them really not being able to transfer over video games into movies. But this could be a Legendary doing it, plus this cast, starting, Chris, with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is, first of all, he's a big-time geek. He loves Star Wars. He's a big geek, and he loves movies. And he's actually in the new Naked Gun movie, too.
Yeah.
So he looks the part. I think he could really pull this off. What do you think about Cody Rhodes as Guile?
I love it. I love Cody Rhodes. He sells so well. He commits. I love this guy. I think he's so great. I think he really loves this kind of content too. And I mean, I know this is just a very silly way of approaching this, but the marketing campaign, Cody Rhodes on the road promoting a Street Fighter movie, just seems so fun. And
Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Which, I have always said too, I'm not the biggest Roman Reigns person, but Akuma is a great role for him because it's just this cold, calculating warrior who's just out to just wreck shop.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is something that Roman Reigns can absolutely deliver on. He's obviously got the build for it. He's got the kind of delivery for those kinds of lines and everything too. So I love seeing them in the mix here. And I think it has the potential to be really fun. That original Street Fighter movie, it's a Tombstone pizza. Yeah, it's not good, but I'm gonna have it, and I like it.
Such a great way to put it, and I agree because it's one of the, especially because that game there was no game bigger than that game. I mean, at every
so fun.
I remember being in New York. Every pizzeria had it. Every place there's lines were out the block to play the damn game. And it just depends on what the overall core story is going to be. But Brett, you're so even. this was our game kind of growing up. You know,
yeah.
I know you're not as familiar with the wrestlers, but the cast that I mentioned, does this seem like anything that you'd really give a shit about?
Oh, it seems great, but like you immediately said with story, I don't remember the original game having a story. So
Right.
that's what maybe I'm thinking later on all these backstory of killed his father and what it's just like that one screen of two people fighting. That's all. Is this the little blip that they would pop up beforehand before they fought? But I
Right.
think if you are going to just ride off of a fun cast and that people love Street Fighter, then this is going to be a flop. But if you actually give it a really great story, I think that's where it's going to, that's where it's going to take off. And I think, who knows? They might rely on the cast on this one.
There's got to be somebody that says round one, fight.
Yeah.
There's got to be. There's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be so upset if there wasn't. But yeah, I'm more excited for this. I still haven't seen the new Mortal Kombat 1 or 2. Did 2 come out already?
I believe it did.
It did,
Yeah.
right?
I think.
I don't
I'm
even
pretty
know.
sure it
right?
did. Fun. The first one was,
Yeah, right. I mean, you're not talking about the 95 one. You're talking about the one.
No. The recent.
I never
ones,
saw it. The 95 one, I obviously saw it. The new one, I didn't see, and I wasn't like clamoring to see it. Right. This one, I'm interested to see. I want to see a good Street Fighter movie. I want to see, especially the fact that Legendary is doing it. And I want to see what they put together. So, what do you guys make of this story? Do you like the fact that, first of all, the cast that we're getting? Do you think that it's time for a Street Fighter movie, or is it past its time? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. And I want you to put your thoughts in the comments here live. I want you to do it on the replay, and I want you to do it on the Clips channel. We're aiming for 12,000 subscribers over there, but we got a lot of different clips every single day, what we are working on. All right, we're going to do a little bit of a spoiler discussion here. Brett won't care about this. He definitely hasn't seen it, but we're going to do spoilers anyway, so you've been warned on Ironheart. Chris, I assume you saw the last episode last night?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Ironheart season finale includes a blink and you'll miss it glimpse at the comic accurate form of who? I think we know what we're talking about. Like I said, spoilers, so you've been warned. We're probably talking about Mephisto. All right. In the Ironheart finale, we're introduced to a character fans have been waiting to see in the MCU since speculation about his debut first ran rampant in 2021. Here's a look at his first true face. You know what is funny? I think that Sam saw this one in our reaction, and I missed it. I'm going to guess, because I haven't read this article yet. I'm going to guess it was in the coffee. I think it was in the coffee, because that's what Sam goes, oh, I saw a devil face. I was like, I didn't see it. In the season finale of Ironheart, it's revealed that Parker Robbins acquired the hood from Mephisto, the MCU's devil. Marvel Studios touched on the supernatural before, but this series might be what ushers in a new era of horror-themed storytelling in the franchise's next phase. As for Riri, she also makes a deal with the devil. But did you catch that blink and you miss a shot of Mephisto's true form? Sacha Baron Cohen plays the villain as a human, but there's a brief reflection of his comic-accurate demon face in a spoon. Yes, this is what Sam saw. He has a red skin, white eyes, and what appears to be some pretty sharp teeth. Based on this tease, it's a real shame we didn't get to see Mephisto in all his glory, but this is an effective glimpse of what could be waiting for us down the line, and we'd bet on a future MCU project like the rumored Midnight Suns Ghost Rider projects, fully revealing what lies beneath the human visage. So Cohen does a terrific job as Mephisto, and was first rumored to be playing the character when Ironheart was in production. That means it's been at least 3 years since he shot these scenes, and it now remains to be seen when and where he'll return. So hopefully this won't be another multiverse saga introduction that seemingly leads nowhere, like Star Fox and Hercules. Oh, and Clea, and heck, even Moon Knight and Blade. You can take a closer look at Ironheart's take on Mephisto below, along with the moment he reveals his name. We're guessing that's meant to be his real voice. So there's that shot. Oh yeah, she saw it. I don't know how she picked that up. I didn't pick that up.
Well done, Sam.
Really good. Okay, so let's just go to the spoiler itself. First thing, and again, I'm not going to address all this stuff too, but like what I said in the first 3 episodes that I did, the first 2 I thought they were fine, and the third one I thought was better. So you get the absolute the shills who like the Disney stuff, the shills, and then we watch the last 3, and we don't really like them. They didn't really like these episodes, and we're not fun while we're doing his cracking jokes. I'm not going his live show anymore because he did this, and it's like you can't win. So the point of you just got to go and you got to be as honest as possible. And the honesty for me is I just didn't dig it. I thought it was boring. I liked her. I thought she was good, but it's like, let's go. They spend so much time in one location over and over and over again. But I will say, as we've had the spoiler, the Mephisto reveal was awesome. He was great. Her scenes with him were great. I want to know where it goes. They're clearly trying to lead up to a second season by the end of this, which I don't think they're going to get. But I just didn't, I wasn't attached the way I think that they thought we would be. But Chris, I don't know. What do you think of these last three?
You know, once we got to episode 4, I was much more invested. I thought that was a really well executed episode and really enjoyed everything that was going on there. I really loved moments of Zeke calling out Riri of you say you want to do these things, but I don't see it. And then we see more of that hero's journey of you're right. I want to protect the people I love. I want to do these things. Seeing more of her tech was really great. But there are just some things that still fell flat for me. I got incredibly invested in the character Zelma being introduced. Loved her, loved everything about that. But I also like when Marvel gets spooky. I love all the magic and all the witchcraft stuff that we do in these shows. And they did do some really fun comic throwbacks for that character too. But all in all, I feel like they just didn't execute a show that was really introducing me and getting me invested in Riri Williams, despite how great this actress is in this role. She's really giving us some great stuff, and there's really good moments. It just doesn't feel cohesive. The thing I really need to address, though, is Marvel, why would you have Sacha Baron Cohen cosplay as my husband? I feel very uncomfortable. When he showed up in his button down and suspenders, I was like, why is Sacha Baron so hot? And why does he look like Logan? Oh God, I'm married to the devil. And I'm not going to be okay. And he was just sitting there like, yeah, that's me.
That's me. I'm telling you, man, those scenes were great. That was my favorite. My favorite part was like how they introduced that at the end. But even like Anthony Ramos, I thought was like just kind of underused, right?
He's wasted in this. So many of his scenes feel so thrown away.
And I thought like the first 3 episodes, I'm like, oh, they're really building something with him really well. And then by the time you get to the 4, 5, and 6, this is just kind of a generic story that who cares? The drive because he wants to like be in his, he was rejected from his father and he had no respect. And it's like, how many times have you seen that? And it's like, so that just didn't work for me at all. But that crew, the crew was every single time they just couldn't get anything right. And then they're sending like what drove me nuts. Some of the stuff they set up, they didn't stick with it. They set up the two badasses who were supposed to be the fighters of that crew. And Riri's hitting them in the face with pans and fighting them off just fine. And she's not the fighter, she's the tech person. And she's holding her own. She's able to fight off the 2 of them. And then finally she should have outsmarted them with the tech like immediately. Yeah. That's what she finally did. And then you get Clown in there cracking jokes, throwing grenades and doing that. And then it's like just send in Joe McGillicuddy, which I love, by the way. I call everybody McGillicuddy. And the fact that you should just had that and that was it.
Well, and I don't understand why Clown had to blow up a White Castle glass door.
Right.
An elbow works. No, I mean, don't do that, you guys. Right. But it was just so extra to get into a White Castle of let me put this grenade on top of some thin glass. And then I felt like we've got so much potential with Zeke. I really feel like there's a lot of cool stuff he could do.
Could be, yeah.
And I love where that ended with him and Riri of we're not okay.
Right.
But obviously I'm not a murderer. I'm not a truly bad person. And I don't want to be like my dad. That's the dad issue I want to follow.
Yes.
Not the Anthony Ramos one.
No. And I did like, because I thought we were going to go predictable. Oh, he went bad. Okay. So he went bad. Okay, great. But they didn't. They had him. There was a reason why he was doing what he did. And I think he jumped into the bionics a little too quick. Right. He's like, yeah, you know what? Sure. Put all that stuff in me. Why not? Let's do it. But anyway, like I said, it's not a terrible show. It's just one of those shows that it falls into category. It's not like Secret Invasion or She-Hulk. It falls into me more so in the Echo realm where it's like it's just there. It's just kind of there.
Do you think if there were more episodes, they would have been able to do a better job of this? Or do you think that the 6 episodes are all you really needed for something like this show?
That's it. I just don't. I stand by the fact that I think that she is a good actress. I think that she plays the character very well in this. I just still don't know if a Riri Williams story if it was something, especially right now, and it was supposed to come out in 2022. I just don't think right now, with all the stories that they're telling, that's the story that they need to get people on board with the MCU. You know, it's okay. It's 6 episodes. Let's tell the story, and then it got greenlit during the Chapek era. Let's move on now, because look, they just spent $200 million on Thunderbolts, and it lost them a lot of money, and it was a good movie. They're in trouble right now. Like, they're in trouble. They need Fantastic Four to hit. They need Avengers to hit, and they need to get to X-Men as fast as they can. That's where they're staying right now. And putting out shows, like, what's the next? I think there's the next show that they're doing, because even Daredevil didn't do well.
Which is pretty crazy,
right?
In my opinion.
I liked Daredevil a lot, and it didn't do well. So, like, what's the next show? I know they have animation. There's the Wakanda show that they have coming out.
As a Wakanda, I believe we're going to be getting more What If and Spider-Man. We've got the Marvel Zombies thing.
Right, but all animated. What's the next live action?
Well, Fantastic Four, but that's movies.
Yeah, movie. Right. So but that might be a good thing. I know that season 2 of Daredevil is already shot. Wonder Man is
thank you, chat. Yeah.
Wonder Man.
I know we were supposedly going to get a Strange Academy show, but that's already kind of been scrapped. Okay. And that's what I feel like the Zelma character was going to introduce us to, which is essentially Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. But hey, what if Doctor Strange was running it? Or I think they were setting up Wong maybe to be the headmaster of that. And that could have been really cool. Again, there's so many things in this show that were fun. Her repurposing the car, her ability to just take simple items and rework them and reuse them and show her ingenuity. Yeah. Those are the things I wish we capitalized on more, because she's so interesting and dynamic and smart. I just wish the villains could step up to her in that way. And I wish we just had a more cohesive story overall.
Agreed. Well, what'd you guys think about it? Well, Brett, what'd you think about it?
I thought it was great. I mean, but this is
no pants on.
Oh, I got pants on. I have shorts on. I have shorts. This is typical for this generation of Marvel. Like when they started out with the first one, and then they went, and then everything, and for the producer of this, when every time it's like, don't do that, and they're like, how about I do that, and then the spoilers, and see, and I can't.
What about the trip they took to the
squirrel farm?
No, the Arctic with the
polar bear. That, like, talk about jumping the shark, literally.
Right, the frozen shark. Like, come on, people! I'd like, not on my watch. Not in this economy. No. So, what do you guys think about the frozen sharks in this economy? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know, but also tell us your thoughts on Ironheart. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right. Last story before we get into the questions. And the Odyssey teaser came out. I guess it got leaked. I didn't watch it. I don't want to see it. If it's going to come out, I want to see it for real. Well, the Odyssey teaser is stirring talks about accents. The teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is now in cinemas with copies of Jurassic World Rebirth, while good quality copies of the clip are now circulating online on social media with no release plans as yet by the studio, which is the stupidest thing in the world. We'll talk about it for this reason alone. This was such a stupid decision by the studio to not release this trailer because of this reason. While the clip is deliberately vague and gives very little in terms of showing off the film beyond a seemingly dark and serious tone, one thing it does reveal that has already stirred talk is the use of accents. We hear multiple characters speaking, from John Bernthal and John Leguizamo to British actor Tom Holland, with all seemingly using American accents. I love Nolan. I have problems with that. It's a little odd to hear it in an ancient Greek setting, especially Bernthal's Sparta by the way of Baltimore delivery. Sword and Sandal films often resort to British accents, but occasionally change things up, either letting actors keep original accents or change things up, the Irish accents in Oliver Stone's Alexander. Why Nolan has gone this route is unclear, but Universal Pictures has finally released a poster for the new film throughout its official channels, a one sheet slightly different from the copy that went on a few days. Okay, let's check this out. There's the poster. Okay. So let's start with the trailer part of it about not being released. I think this is a major mistake, and I don't know what they're trying to do. This should be only seen in theaters. First of all, this is so silly on so many different reasons. Now, I don't know if that's the reason why they're doing it, but if it is, so silly on a lot of different levels. For one, you're trying to market this movie in a world of these big blockbuster movies. Yes, it's Nolan, but you want to get the word out there and you want to get people excited about it a year before the damn thing comes out. Release the trailer online, get more people. You don't just expect, well, we want people to go see Jurassic World, so they got to go see it. This isn't the Phantom Menace before like Meet Joe Black. Like this is you can see trailers all the damn time on the internet because you got big TVs that you can watch on. Other reason is because of what they said is already happening. Oh, it's not online. Well, I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel, and then you're watching some probably okay quality, not the best quality, and then it gets leaked, and then people are talking about it. So that first, Chris, do you think that this is something that the studio is doing because of the reasons I said, or is it something different?
I feel like you nail it there. I feel like it is the idea of let's, again, create that event, get that exclusivity into a theater, which because people will do whatever they want and record screens and do that kind of stuff. And honestly, a 16-year-old working at the AMC shouldn't have to tell adults to behave themselves. So I understand how these leaks happen, but it is a little silly. I do love this for people who enjoy going to a theater and seeing a trailer for the first time there. But I feel like the people who enjoy that kind of thing already are staying off of the internet. They see a trailer come on and they leave the room. I feel like you're not really curating the theater group that you think you are with this kind of move.
Yeah, I don't get it. Brett, what do you make of this?
I just remember that Little Mermaid wasn't the same when my dad brought home that VHS from New York. It just really didn't hit when people kept getting up to go get popcorn, and I don't think these leaked ones will hit the same way.
No, they just don't. They don't, and I just don't understand like why they do that. Well, it needs to be seen in theaters. It's like, come on, what are we doing here? So, that's part one. Part two is the accents. I know people are not going to agree with me here. The big controversy with The Brutalist, over with the fact that they used AI to help with accents. Throw that AI program in there and start giving them all accents. I know you're not going to agree with me, but get those American accents out of there. Napoleon speaking in an American accent drove me crazy. It drives me crazy. Weird. I love John Bernthal, but I was watching a lot of the movies that he does. He doesn't really change up his tone. I love John Bernthal, but he doesn't really change up. Sometimes he does Southern, right? But I don't want to see Southern Odyssey, and I don't want to see an East Coast person in it. Throw that AI program in there and give them accents. Brett, why do you agree with me?
Because it takes you out of it. You don't want to see people talking about Spada.
Right. Yeah, no, right. But Chris, you definitely don't agree with me.
I don't. No. I did. Did Bill Burr take you out of Star Wars now that we know that there's Star Wars Boston?
That's different. That's
How's that different?
Totally different.
How's that different? Because this is an epic poem that is loosely around the events of the Trojan War. This is all fantasy and myth and all kinds of things.
But if you're in a different galaxy, you can convince me that somebody sounds like Bill Burr in one part of some random planet in the galaxy. At that point in time, there weren't people that sounded like me. Like, it's like, hey, get the dragon. Let's go fight. Let's go fight Medusa. It's like, come on.
I do agree that a lot of times people just need dialect training. That's part of being an actor. Is go get a dialect coach and do the training and do that. That's why I'm also iffy on the let's judge this around with AI of just be better at your job. And I say that as somebody who really struggles with dialects.
They shot it already.
Well, not fair. But I just, for me, like one of my favorite movies, and I know this is a very different kind of film too, is The Much Ado About Nothing that Kenneth Branagh did, with everyone just using their own dialects, their own natural dialects, because also everyone makes Shakespeare English for some reason, just because he was, and ye old English was way closer to just kind of podunk Southern if we're getting really, really technical about things. So having everyone speak however they naturally spoke worked for me in that, because it's also a fantastical world in a mystical place, with a war going on.
Sure.
So I can understand kind of doing whatever with this. I have more of an issue with the AI aspect of it than the dialects chosen to be used in this.
That's fair. I mean, like I said,
I understand for something like this, I would naturally want something that is Grecian or English, because we also have all decided, no, Tolkien got it right. Any fantasy story, you guys have British accents. That's how it's going to work.
It just sounds better. You know, it just sounds better. I don't know. I mean, because someone
sounds more old timey.
It just does.
It sounds very old timey and fancy. And I get that.
And somebody said in the chat, "How do you know what people sounded like in ancient Troy?" And I'll tell you what, it's more likely that they sounded like they had British accents than like me. And I'm telling you that right now. But the bottom line of the both of that is they didn't sound like either one. The whole thing should be in subtitles. What it should be is more likely what it should be. It should be in subtitles with, but you can't do that because that's not marketable. And I understand that. But and this is always an issue for me, and it might not be for other people. And I love Nolan more than anybody. I love Christopher Nolan, but I love Ridley Scott. But I'm telling you, it was one of my biggest issues when I'm like, why in the world is Napoleon speaking like he is from Detroit? I'm like, it took me right out of the movie. And if I hear it in the way that, remember how big of a deal it was when Kevin Costner was no accent for Robin Hood. So that's an issue.
I just feel like sometimes you have to think about the world building. And I might watch this and go, gosh, that takes me out of this. I hate this so much, honestly. But I do want to listen to it first before I make a snap judgment about it.
Fair.
Because certain times, too, going to see different adaptations of things where it's the same script but put in a different time period or a different place, those have had a really strong impact on me of, oh, wow, isn't it cool how all these stories are universal, but now I can watch it with this other lens on it. But who's to say? I might sit in the theater and go, man, Nolan, you really screwed this up by doing this choice.
Maybe it could be one of these things, like exactly what you just said, where, okay, look, we're going to try to do it with accents. And because what is true is that speaking in a bad accent is worse than using an American accent. Like, if it's really bad and it's so noticeable that it's like, and that's not even just an English accent, it's like a New York accent, a Boston accent. If it's so bad, it rips you right out of it. It's like, just don't do that. I'd rather you not have the accent. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio isn't really even trying to do a very strong accent in Wolf of Wall Street. There's like something in there, but he's not trying super hard in the way that, like, 'cause sometimes I'll always tell when somebody's doing a bad accent, like, oh, I'm from New York, I want a slice of pizza. Like Ellis does the worst, purposely bad New York accent. As where Jonah Hill nailed it, right? It sucks you out of it if it's that terrible. So it's like, all right, you might as well just not had an accent. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe Nolan was just like, okay, look, you know what? Let's not try to do that. I want you guys in this movie. I really want you, whether I'm just not singling out John Bernthal, I'm just saying in general, Bernthal or, well, Tom Holland obviously is going to be using his regular accent, I would assume. But that's going to be weird. So he's got an English accent, but then Bernthal doesn't, and then it's that makes me nervous, Chris. Makes me nervous.
And that's totally fair. I'm just still trying to hold off on a whole bunch of judgment. Again, the bigger issue is when you said, just use the AI thing. I went, oh, no, please don't. I wanted that to stay so far away from all of us.
Yeah, that's going to happen, though, eventually, too, especially when
I know it will, but, I can be all pissy about it.
You want to prolong it as long as you
you
get it.
Just as somebody who makes their bread and butter changing their voice.
I know.
Chris, you just have to make a snap judgment about something you haven't heard. It's just more fun that way, and more internet-y. You have to go what you read off an article, think what you think it's going to be, and be annoyed like Kristian. Tell them they need AI.
That's right.
Thank you. I'm going to work on this for next week, and I'm going to come in here with so many hot takes of like, you know what? I didn't read that, but I don't like the author's name for that article. So this is bullshit.
You're just going to basically do what Brett does.
Yeah. Corenswet. I've got the Corenswets now.
100%. All right. What do you guys make of the accent gate? Do you think this is going to be something that is worth it to just say, hey, listen, just go and say what you're going to say? No one, because that is the other side. Get out of here, stupid microphone. That is, to me, enough where Nolan is that good. To be honest with you, I'll probably get over it pretty quick. I probably will. But what do you think? Do you think that they should just try to do it? The accents? Do you think they should just do what they're doing, or should they try the AI program and make Chris Carr's head spin off her body? So what do you guys think? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, we're going to get to some questions. So in order to beat John Roca, you guys have to get just about you need about 129 to tie, I think is what he had. You guys are currently at 34 starting. No, but that's good to start. Not bad to start. Not bad to start. I'm also going to check real quick and see, because sometimes we lose them in the for some reason StreamYard does this stupid thing where they don't always show all of them. So I like to double check just to make sure when we start. And the first one was actually from Ryan. So let's see if Ryan is the first one that we have here. Okay, so before we even do it, Chris, what is going on your channel with your podcast? Let us know.
Oh, thanks. So over on Two Filthy Casuals Pod, which you can get on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all kinds of things. We this week are going to just have a compilation talking about some 4th of July movies, but previous episodes include talking about Glow, different villains, Rocket Raccoon, doing deep dives on some stuff. If you are still confused why Tony Stark is going to be Doctor Doom, essentially, you can go check that out wherever you get your podcasts. And then other than that, you can follow me on It's Chris Carr over on Instagram or Speak Friend Studios. If you do want to learn more about dialects so you don't have to use AI, come on over. My husband can train you, or I can talk to you about voiceover work.
There you go. Brett Sheridan, the whole reason you're here today, right as we are about to talk to you, your camera goes a little fuzzy. You're looking better. What's going on? You're launching a new channel. I hope that Luke puts both. You know what? This is the thing, Luke. So Brett's mom pointed out that we don't have Brett in the credits. Make sure that we have his channel in the credits, please.
Hey, my best publicist is my mother.
Yeah.
I was supposed to launch today. Got a little excited about launching early, but the final vinyl, the first show on the Brett Sheridan channel, started in 2009 and never anything posted. It will be coming out next Wednesday, I'm hoping. I'm going to have a bunch of them in the can, so I don't have to stress every week about it, but it's basically me going through my entire album collection of stuff that I bought for $1 at thrift stores just because I thought they were funny, reviewing them, and then putting them up for sale or throwing them in the trash or keeping them.
Okay. Do you want me to play the beginning of the thing that we worked on? Or you want to wait?
Oh, I could send you the newest version if you want. Or you could play the beginning of it. Yeah.
Let me find. I'll find it before as we start to get into where the hell are you? Because I'll take that video and play it real quick to show people kind of what Brett's working on, because he's been working.
The other thing that's different is that I don't have the clips from the show, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'll just show the beginning of it, so that way it's get the kind of overall tone. So I'll show you what Brett's been working on here. This is Brett. Here we go. Perfect.
14 hours.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Final Vinyl with Brett Sheridan. What's Final Vinyl? Well, I'll tell you. My first show on the Brett Sheridan channel, which was started in 2009 when YouTube was in its infancy, but why start a show then? Wait for, a good almost 20 years and start one then when the whole market is saturated. That's a good idea, Brett. Final Vinyl is the show that I have created in a way to adjust mics. I'm going to adjust mics over and over and over again, and that's going to be the whole show. So thanks for coming. Bye. Get this party started. Oh, hello. I did see you there. See, because people always do that. Should I start? Stop? Yeah, let's do that.
So there you go. So go check Brett out on his channel. Again, links should be in the description, and we'll see the new intro pretty soon. Okay.
And see if I finish a thought. That's
I like the clips and how they kind of break it. Ryan Famulari, film is an art form craft that must serve the audience. If you're going to share your work, all opinions, good, bad, need to at least be considered. Pure, free expression, painting, poetry on the Roxy conversation yesterday. Yeah, so Roxy and I differed a little bit too. Roxy was being very protective of me, and I appreciate it, because we were just talking about how I welcome criticisms and things too. There was comments on when we put Grasping at Straws, and someone was like, "Well, I don't necessarily like the music, but I like this and I like this." And Roxy said, "Why would you go to someone's things? Like, if you want to make a YouTube channel about it, and you want to give your criticisms, you want to talk about the work, that's fine. But why would you go to the artist page and do it?" And I said, I don't have an issue with it if they're going there to have this didn't work for me, and I'll tell you why. You put it out there. I think I'd share my opinion. It's fine. The second someone starts insulting or anything, I just throw them off the page. Like if it's just someone calling you this your shit, this your shit, that I'm just gone. But I don't disagree with what Ryan is saying. I think that it doesn't mean that. So like I've said to people that when I don't necessarily agree with you, but I understand what you're saying, and I can tell you the reason why we did this and this and that. And I like those conversations. So I don't know. Do you guys think otherwise?
Do you want to go first, Brett?
Yeah, go. I must serve the audience. I don't. I guess film. Yeah, I guess so. But like, not all art is for you. I don't think it's for them to just express themselves. So that's where I differ in that. But I guess film is something you want people to watch. So yes, it should serve the audience. But
Ryan, he follows it up, Chris. And he says it's tough to be as thoughtful as I like with a word limit, but hopefully the idea is there. People can cross a line, but I agree with Kristian's.
Yeah, I think kind of talking about what Brett was saying there is your first mistake typically as an artist is going, ooh, I hope people like to consume this. And I understand that there's a reason for that. Well, that's why it's the entertainment industry. But all of this is so subjective that if you disagree with somebody, that's totally fine. It's just, can you not be an asshole about it?
Exactly.
Right? Everyone has opinions, but we don't have to be jerks about it. So if you disagree with somebody, that's totally fine. Give me a reason why that also isn't just, well, I don't like the way you talk, or I think this is, I like things this way, so therefore you're stupid. Those are the kind of things where you're not having an actual intellectual conversation. You just want to be a jerk.
Well, because I think sometimes too, to be honest with you, is like it's like for me anyway, because as I'm putting together this new pilot, this new potential series, I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting that they saw it that way. I was like, I wonder if the new series I can do this instead of that. Or but then you also look and say, well, the majority of comments liked that. That particular person didn't like that. That just means it didn't land for them.
Yeah, not everything's made for everyone.
Oh, and it's the same way that my mom, my dad said something like, not everybody's going to like you. Doesn't matter what you do. Even the nicest person in the world, someone dislikes them.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. So you have to look. You should pay attention to majority though. You really should have majority on one. If it's one sentence of something, if the majority goes, I don't like that because, you should pay attention to that. It's the same way like when I was doing stand up, it's like I would do a joke and it didn't land for everybody, but if the majority of the audience was laughing, well, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. I'm going to do the same one. If I do the same joke 5 days in a row and in front of crowds of over 200, 300 people, and it doesn't go well 5 days in a row, I either got to stop doing that joke or I got to tweak it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of important. Shay Markel. Question: what is Riri's name? Isn't it Riri Williams?
Riri Williams. Oh, is Riri short for?
I think it's Riri. I think. Next one, Darian. Putting you on the spot. Marianne Beam walks into a kitchen, quizzically looks upon an apron-clad Gary Busey methodically cracking eggs on a toaster. With a raised eyebrow, she asks, who does Marianne Beam? Is that do you do impression of Marianne Beam?
Marianne Beam is my character in True Noir.
Oh, so okay, so here we go. Putting you on the spot. Marianne walks into a kitchen, quizzically looking upon an apron-clad Gary Busey methodically cracking eggs into a toaster. With a raised eyebrow, she asks,
who the hell are you, Gary Busey, in my kitchen? She doesn't have a very different voice than me. She's just from Prohibition Chicago.
I don't know why you'd be talking.
So it'd be more of like, why are you here?
I'm here for everybody else to see that these eggs are more about an enlightening, understanding, enrichment into your inner soul. Make sure when you look and you crack an egg, you're cracking into yourself and looking into the world and the galaxy to see stars are people too.
So my roommate brought home a drug addict again. Great.
Yes, she did.
all right, let's see. Avi Malik. North by Northwest turned 65 this week. Holy moly. What a ride. What are your Hitchcock's faves? Rope is mine. Murder, Dinner Parties, and No Cuts. I mean, I think Psycho, obviously, but I think Birds. Anybody else?
I like Turtles.
What do you like?
I like Turtles.
Turtles.
Birds. I don't know. I like the opening of the Hitchcock show where he'd walk into the drawing of himself.
Yep.
That was
I like
my
Rear
favorite.
Window.
Rear Window. Okay. Abby, Chris, and Brett for the win. We shall see. They're at 41. They're at 41. So it's a possibility with
$179.
You'd be surprised. 50 minutes left. You guys got a shot. Ironheart was a donkey fart. Oh, poor us.
Oh,
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, right. Tim, Riri is the most unlikable protagonist in the MCU. The most I don't know if she's the most unlikable. I don't agree with that.
I don't think so. I find her very likable, but she's flawed, and she's also a teenager still, isn't she?
I don't think she's a teenager, but if she's
young.
like, she's late. I mean, she's in college, so she's either late 19.
But she got to college at 15.
That's true. That's true. So maybe you're right. Maybe
so
you're
that
right.
frontal lobe still hasn't formed. You know what I mean? Like you're still making pretty dumb decisions before 25.
Yeah, she does. She makes a lot of bad decisions, but I don't know if she's unlikable. Luke Starkiller. Hi, everyone. If Jade wins the belt off Tiffany, I think Naomi will cash in and wins the belt. That would be pretty interesting.
Ooh.
Naomi's getting over right now. It seems like more so than she has in the past. And I don't know if she's going to cash in right away, but that would be an interesting way to do it.
That'd be fun. And Naomi's such a great performer. Oh my gosh.
It's funny because she's kind of come around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Starkiller. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I've not put a question in a while. I lost my mom a couple months ago. I'm so sorry. It's been hard, but I'm working through it. Well, Luke, I mean, first of all, thank you for being here. Second of all, thank you for sharing that with us. And I'm so sorry for your loss, my friend.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
And again, shout out again to our good buddy Brad Gilmore, who recently lost his pops, and he was talking about it on he did I saw he did a full speech at Booker T's, the ROW, and it was really nice. It was heartfelt too. So I know Brad's been going through it. So give some love to Brad Gilmore out there too. Great guy. Al Rensha, hashtag support for Chris and Brett. There you go.
Yay.
Yeah. And Luke says he goes and talks to a group. It's been helpful. I love that. Good.
Yeah.
That's really good to know. Okay. Corn Emperor can't join live very long. Brett, I know I never say what this really is. I always say fuck the world. Like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Yeah. Every single
catchphrase.
Yeah, that's it. Not for the win. I don't do that. Okay, let's see. Go Pal. As a kid, I used to love putting Nesquik powder on vanilla ice cream. I used to like strawberry quick, but I never much cared for actual chocolate ice cream. Oh, I like chocolate ice cream. Chocolate peanut butter is my favorite.
See, that was in a pinch, the Nesquik powder, and then it became a thing. But it was just because we ran out of the canned syrup.
Yeah.
Oh, that's more of a I've had an edible, and that's a choice I'm making.
Also fair. Also fair. Zan Miguel. Hello. Sorry if I'm late, but have you guys seen Predator's Killer of Killers? Just saw it and it's so good. A lot of fist pump moments, some emotion too. I gotta watch it. I watched the first part of it. And I liked what I was seeing, but I was like, is this I didn't realize that there was a bunch of different stories. I watched the first one and I was like, oh, they're really just doing the over the top kind of Kill Bill blood coming out everywhere. And I was like, oh, this is fun. But I never finished it. So all I hear how great it is. Did you see it, Chris?
No, I haven't.
I hear it's great. It's animated. It's on Hulu. I think.
Yeah,
Hulu,
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, is Hulu right? I assume that's where it is.
I'm pretty sure it's Hulu.
Disney? The same shit. Roger, 1977, gifted 5 memberships. It's great time to be a member.
Nice.
Great time to be a member. A lot of live streams right now. Got tons of stuff. So please go and check it out, where we have unedited reactions and all that. And today, Sam's coming in. People are gonna be so excited when I tell you this. Sam's coming in today, and we're doing the Guardians Christmas special, which people have been asking about.
Nice.
And then that's going to lead into Guardians Volume 3, which then will lead into probably going to do Agatha first. People keep asking about Agatha. Oh my God, I've never gotten so many more requests. I just had done Agatha, but so many people, and I'm telling you, if people don't watch the Agatha ones, I'm going to be pissed because people keep asking me to do that. So that's what we're looking at right there. Okay, next one. Thank you again, Roger, for donating those.
Yeah, awesome.
Next one, 43 right now for Brett and Chris, trying to catch John Roca at 129. We shall see if they can do it. Roxy couldn't do it yesterday. Could the team of Chris and Brett do it? Making Chris Carr is the villain of my story. JLM 219. That's what you said. You said, remember you said.
Oh, am I going to be the villain of your story, JLM?
Good laugh. Great laugh. Jake Yakavetta, I'm busy, but I have to watch because Brett's here. Hey, boo.
Hello.
You remember Jake, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tim Sim. To be fair, season 2 and season 3 is following faithfully the second game with some changes. And Neil Druckmann, when he led the development of the game, did change on purpose to avoid sequelitis and to tell his story that he believes the world needs to see. And that's when I probably think that's when HBO stepped in and goes, let's not do that again because it didn't work very well for season 2. So that's probably what happened. It's probably what Tim said. He's like, well, I want to change this up a little bit more and do this. And they're like, can you not? Because you did change some stuff up, because it doesn't look, Tim, that maybe story beats, but from what I saw as far as tone, as far as at least how Ellie was, she seems dramatically different to me.
Yeah. Seems pretty different.
Yeah.
Brett, did you like the second game? Because I just stopped playing because I got kind of overwhelmed. Not that I hated it. So should I go back to it?
I loved it, and it was
Okay.
very emotional as well. And it was something that my son got me into, because he's pretty, he's a teenager, kind of closed off. But I walked in his room and he's sitting on the edge of his bed, and he's like, "Bro, I don't know if you're going to be able to handle the second game." I'm like, "Ooh, I have to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tim, for the very, very generous, my friend. Go, pal. Chris is right. I should get a frozen pizza.
You should. You should get so many Tombstone pizzas. They're so cheap.
They are cheap. I'll tell you.
Cube pepperoni is the best pepperoni.
I said this before, though, and I'll stand by it. Do you know who has the best frozen pizzas?
Who?
Trader Joe's. They have really good frozen pizzas.
Sometimes they're a little too highfalutin, though. They try to get fancy and make it like a flatbread. I don't need that.
Cheese. I just go normally the circle.
That's smart.
Throw it in the oven. Cheese pizza, really good.
Not the portobello prosciutto.
That's great.
Nah, don't get fancy. Tim Sim, again, thank you, Tim. As someone that played the game and loved it, I thought the second season worked and stayed faithful to the second game. But I admit it brought over the polarizing nature of the second game's plot to the show, so I understand not liking it. Fair. I love Tim Sim's comments every time, because a lot of times it could be on the opposing point of view, where he's like, well, I mean, I don't really necessarily agree with you guys because I like this, because then I'll tell you why. This is what we're talking about with conversation. Never insulting. Never. There's just a conversation about why he liked it or didn't like it and because. So, Tim, much respect to you, my friend. Go, pal. I'm still on the second, only 2 episodes into Ironheart, so I have your spoiler discussion paused. I think it'd be fine. It's good so far. I mean, I think, like I said, I watched 2 and we were just like, okay, it's fine. And then 3 I really liked. And then I didn't like 4 as much as you did, Chris. I was kind of bored with 4. But then by the end we get to 6, I was like, okay, that's fine.
I think I need to rewatch it, honestly, too, and just see how I feel after not just having a knee-jerk reaction to it, and see how it fits into the universe as a whole.
Yeah, fair enough. Jacques 6098 just saw Jurassic World Rebirth, worst movie of the year, in my opinion.
Ooh.
It's not good,
Whoa.
but it's worst movie of the year. I'm trying to think of, what did I see? Didn't I see something? I saw something that stinks. I'm sure I saw something that stinks more than Jurassic World. I have to go back and look, but no, I don't know if it's worst movie of the year yet. Did you see it yet, Chris?
I haven't yet.
Yeah, it's not great. But
My 4th of July plans are just to kind of do like a starting at 9 a.m., go see a whole bunch of movies, because my dogs freak out too much with the fireworks. So I'm going to go do all that and then be hunkered down with dogs and drugging them.
Christian Coyote, I think Dr. Doom will make a deal with Mephisto. Here's the problem. Problem is, this is the whole point of what Marvel did wrong, right? You can't assume that people are going to know. You're going to have to reintroduce them in the movie again, because what if the people didn't see Ironheart that are going to see that huge movie, and you're making a deal with Doom? Like, who the hell is that? Is that Borat making deals? Like, no one's going to know what's happening. So I think that's one of the major things. There's two, like I did. So we're doing, speaking of, we're doing a live show on August 9th, and it's going to be myself and Sam, and we're doing it's like a whole thing about our journey, Sam's journey in the MCU in general, right? So when I was talking to on the podcast that they have for this club, and the guy was asking me, he's like, well, if I've only seen Deadpool, I haven't seen a lot of the MCU, and I want to see Fantastic Four. I want to go see Fantastic Four. What do I start with? And I was like, oh, that's a question, right? I'm like, he's like 40 movies or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I said, if you just, he's like, will I be lost? I said, the only thing I think you really need to see, if you don't plan on going into the MCU and catching up to all that stuff, I would say just watch Thunderbolts. start your adventure with Thunderbolts. And because you can't go and he's not going to go invest in all the shows right now. He's not going to go back and do it. So it's like, just if you're going to lead into it, or don't see anything at all and just go see if you can do it. But Chris, what do you think?
I think go in blind, honestly.
Yeah.
And hope that it is truly this capsule, because it's supposed to be an entirely different universe. So if they execute it in that way, it should be, if we do have that tie-in into the Thunderbolts at the end, then you, as the Fantastic viewer, are introduced to Thunderbolts for the first time, and you have that same emotion of the Fantastic Four going, where are we and who the hell are these people?
Exactly.
That's the hope. I don't want anyone to have to do homework.
I agree. Alrena 7479, could Mephisto be a way for Wanda to be resurrected? Again, it's the same question I have. Like, you got to if you just have to find a way to introduce him again. Do we know what the ratings of Ironheart are yet? How did the first 3 do? Does anybody know?
And look it up.
Yeah, if you see anything, I'm curious, because maybe it did well. Maybe it did well, and I was and I'm wrong about this. The fact that Daredevil didn't do very well, I'd be shocked if it did well, but we'll see. Someone said that I'm very particular with accents in period movies, and I am 100%. I am. You're 100% right. So it's very possible that other people aren't going to care. Al says, easy there, Brett. White chocolate. Don't get banned. You don't like white chocolate, Brett?
Chocolate. What?
I don't know.
I don't know. Did I say something about white chocolate?
Might.
It's just
Invincible
chocolate.
Arsenal. Yeah, Druckmann is very hated in the gaming space. He's insanely pretentious. Is that true? His co-creator is what made Last of Us 1 good, and then it got to his head. Okay, I don't know enough about the gaming space to say if that's true or not true. So I can't really say. But interesting. You said, because Chris, I know you're dabble in the game space. Did you hear anything along those lines?
I haven't heard anything like that.
Okay.
I hope that's not true. I hope he's not super pretentious.
Yeah, I mean, you always hope that. And then at DG4935, remember Kevin Costner's Robin Hood accent debacle? Yeah, 100%. Mel Brooks called it, unlike some Robin Hoods, I can speak in a flawless British.
That moment's so good in that movie. The average tomato meter for Ironheart is an 86, but the average popcorn meter is a 53. Right. Numbers are all over the place, and the review, like the actual viewing numbers, are incredibly low.
And they're low. The viewing is right. Okay, so you can't debut Mephisto in a show that nobody's watching. You just can't. You can't, or rather, if you're going to continue to use him, you've got to find new ways to introduce him again in a way that you don't have to know. Oh, well, he actually was in Ironheart, and I got to watch that in order to know who this is. You've got to do it again in a different way. Joe Hendo, I'm officially a freelance writer for my local paper. Submitted my first review for Jurassic World Rebirth. Too bad the film was disappointing. Disappointing is very true. It was. It's just not. They could have done. I was hoping they were going to take this franchise in the Planet of the Apes. Dinosaurs are now ruling, because the whole point of it was what Ian Malcolm says. He goes, if you keep messing with it, it's going to reverse back, and nature finds a way. And it didn't really find a way. They just die out and live on a different island. It was fine. You guys are okay. All the dinosaurs are dying out. Just don't go to that island. I know a few you idiots will do it, and there'll be another movie because of it. But for the most part, we're okay. It's like the whole point of it should have taken over nature. Nature finds a way. I hope some of those dinosaurs escape and then take over. Armada, shout out to Tiny Chef. I hope he makes his comeback. Who's the Tiny Chef person? Who's Tiny Chef?
Oh my gosh, Tiny Chef! Your kids don't like Tiny Chef? They might be too old. So Tiny Chef is this cute little felt chef, this little green guy, and has won Emmys for Nickelodeon. And then they did this heartbreaking video showing Nickelodeon canceling the show, it's Tiny Chef receiving the call, putting down the phone, trying to go back to work, and then just sobbing on his bed. It's heartbreaking. And the internet has lost their minds of, I don't know who this guy is, but I will go to war for him.
Did they really cancel the show?
They really canceled his show.
Oh, so they made that video as a call.
Yeah. Well, and now they've got like a Kickstarter going and all kinds of things.
Very smart. Yeah, very smart. DG4935, New York. Excuse me. New York accents in ancient Rome. Gladiator. Yes, that's true. Denzel. It was one of those things. It was like it's Denzel. You give it a little bit of a pass, I guess, but like I did for sure, but a lot of people didn't. Maryland accents in ancient Greece, Odyssey. What's next? Texas accents in ancient Egypt. Yeah, I know. It's something.
Maybe I'll finally not get cut from a movie if that's the case. They'll keep me in.
Maybe they will. Narcolepsy, 27. In King Kong 2005, King Kong was totally gesturing with the Detroit accent. Nathan Drake. One movie where the accents really bugged me was Enemy at the Gates. Ed Harris is a German sniper with an American accent. PLD had no problem with that, but everybody else probably did too. Yeah, the other thing that drove me nuts. I can't remember what show, was a Netflix show. I talk about it a few times. And there was like, and this isn't even, they have accents, but what drove me nuts also is they're in middle World War II, and they're in this, it's occupied, I think it was in Paris, and it's occupied by Germany. And inside of this room are two German soldiers, nobody else, just two German soldiers. And they start talking in English. It's like, they're not going to talk in English, they're going to talk in German. Put the subtitles on. It's like that kind of stuff drives me nuts. It didn't drive anybody else nuts, but it drives me nuts. It's like, I like to be in that moment of like, okay, at that point, if you can throw a couple subtitles in there, do it. I am Two Fly Cam. Fight to the death. Harloff versus Brett. Who wins? Thoughts? Brett's got freakish strength. Brett's really strong. He is.
You've been hitting the gymnasium though. I don't know.
I know, but it's still, it's like you got like that. You got that like freak strength. So I don't know the answer to that. And Brett would win because I wouldn't be able to hit Brett. Unheard Sirens Incorporated. Chris, have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters yet? If so, what'd you think? I got to react to this thing. Everybody's talking about this.
I've watched it 3 times.
Yeah, I
love it.
Yeah, people love it.
I love it so much. It's so fun.
Yeah, people love it.
It's all my favorite things.
Yeah, people really, really dig
My
it.
wife thought I was joking about it, and I'm like, no, I've heard this is good. Let's do it. She's like, really?
Yeah, people love it. Okay, next one here, and that's Mike Joyce. Which ones you can do the best voice? Best voice of what?
What kind of voice?
Yeah, but I'm not sure which one you mean. Mike, you gotta be more specific.
Like all of us doing the English accents, or doing funny little. I can do a little chipmunk voice, kind of like Big Balls. Well, hello, little buddy. How's it going? What are you up to today?
Yeah, see, I need to cheat. You can do it naturally.
Oh, you just make a little bubble in your throat. But I can't enunciate as well as you, though. So,
well, not
my
everybody.
elocution is bullshit.
Now I'm sleeping.
Oh,
Oh no.
That was good. Okay, much better. Yeah, like I said, I got to cheat. You got to do it naturally.
Oh, I was the worst at accents. Any sketch somebody made me do an accent in was just always a train wreck.
Oh, lucky for you. You've got an accent in my new show.
Oh, good.
No, I'm just
Perfect.
kidding. But you were good as Flouse.
Yeah, but I would dip in and out of that. It was pretty bad.
Oh, I loved the Flouse accent. I am Two Fly Cam. Rather be the head of DC or Marvel for the next 10 years. Neither. Thankless job.
Mm.
Yeah, I would rather neither. Does that work?
I would rather be craft services. Everyone likes crafty. No one's mad at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither on that one. Let's see. Jake, Kristian, I'm still mad that you told PLD to text me to fund Flouse. I woke up still half drunk and just shot the last front in a haze. Refund? What did I fund Flouse for what?
Well, it was like to get for 2,000 or something. They revealed him or something, or I can't remember.
Is that what it was? I don't remember. I don't remember what we did, but I was like, if you got to remind me, Jake, what did we do to fund Flouse? I mean, that was we got Flouse trending. He was number 10 trending on Twitter, which was hilarious. All right, Nathan Drake. Mel Gibson does it right. Make the cast learn the original language. I know it's difficult, but he did with 2 big movies. Apocalypto, right? And what was the other one? I'm not sure the other one, but yeah. I mean, I think Chris is right. You got to learn the craft if you're going to do it. But it's also, but they also remember release dates. If you want to get the movie out in time. Yep. Mr. J. Anderson, support for Brett, for the best beard on the show. That is true.
Quick funny story for you. I went, well, 2 things. I went to this Cosm, which is like an immersive what is it, Matrix. It's like a miniature sphere in Las Vegas that they have, but here in Los Angeles downtown,
so cool.
it was so fun. It was so fun. But there's a bunch of school kids there that beforehand that were seeing something. They weren't seeing Matrix. And I walk over to like do my parking pass and I hear, "Hey, Santa Claus." And oh, yeah, and it's getting a little wide.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to like go back and give that kid, knuckles, because I was like, that was good.
Yeah,
That was good.
Not
Let him
punch
know
him.
that
head.
he's not getting anything
Not
for Christmas,
punch him, but
though.
just give him, blow it up.
Adapt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Armada Biscuit Pizza. Brian Holtzman voice. Let's eat. I love. First of all, Armada, tell me how you know Brian Holtzman. And I'm assuming Rogan's talked about him many, many times too. Brett, did you ever get a chance to see Brian Holtzman perform?
It sounds familiar.
Look him up and see if you recognize it. But he was a Comedy Store guy, but like he was one of those guys. Everybody, you just stop and you watch Brian Holtzman, and he used to perform at Dublin's a lot too. But he was, I mean, he could piss a room off and they would leave. You don't understand what's going on. But Brian Holtzman's the best. I love Brian Holtzman. Ellis and I still to this day send clips to each other of
yeah.
You know who he is. I saw him fight a guy at Dublin's once. Armada, the Northman reaction coming. I don't know, because there's so much that Sam and I have to get to and other things too. I don't know if we'll get to the Northman anytime soon, but it's not out of the cards. Okay. Matthew. She literally sold her soul to the devil. Disney will never learn. The show is garbage. Glad the House of the Mouse is burning down. I think that's dramatic. Is it burning down? I think that's dramatic. I think you also probably going to have a movie. Yeah, tons of. You remember they also run Fox and other things too. And I'll tell you what they did do. Ilio.
They write your paycheck, Harloff.
That's right. Ilio ate it, but there's still they have a lot of money. So burning down is dramatic, but selling the soul of the devil, I thought was part of it that worked out well.
That's kind of the thing.
Yeah. Gen X Nerd, thank you for the gifted membership. Love the pilot. Thank you so much for watching the pilot. I already saw that even when we were doing this, more people are throwing comments in there. And so, like I said, the goal for me right now is to get at least 10,000 people who can watch the pilot. It's grasping at straws. Put it there. I think Luke or PLD will put the link in there if they haven't done it already in the chat itself. So you guys can make sure, click on it, leave a comment, please. I've been trying to respond to every single person that puts a comment in there. And we want to get that show to at least 10,000 views. And I'd love to hear what you think of it. Okay. Chris J. Herman just saw Rebirth. It's so terrible. Everybody thinks it's terrible. I'm with you. The opening scene with Snickers was so dumb, as was the rest of the movie. I don't know if the scene is in the beginning is going to be topped by anybody else. That was such a stupid scene. I couldn't agree with you more. It was so dumb.
The more I hear this, more I want to watch it.
Yeah, the beginning was real dumb. It's not, but I didn't think the movie was terrible like everybody else did. I thought it was just subpar. It's not good. It's not good. Legend MM600. Help me figure out how to turn my membership back on, please. I can still chat, but I can't turn it back on. What the F? You guys are also cool. Thank you. PLD, can you help the man out? I don't know how that works. I'm not sure. Like, if you go into try, you know what you should try to do? Just go to one of the membership videos and click on it and see if it takes you to an option. I'm not sure, man. And PLD should be able to help you. All right. This is from Al Rensha. What's a movie you would like to see re-released? Seeing Return of the Sith was pure wonder for the theater, and also seeing Pacific Rim was awesome. Somebody asked us the other day, and I had the same answer. Inception.
Oh.
Yeah, one, Chris?
I already did it. It was the Muppets, because I love them. I love seeing the Muppets on the big screen, and I didn't get to because I wasn't alive yet. So it's so fun to do that.
Good one. Brett, would you have one that you?
Inception would be perfect for this cosm. Like I'm telling you, it's going to be a thing that'll get people to watch older movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's super fun, and I think tickets were. I didn't pay for tickets. You know, of course, it has expensive food and drinks, but it was like $30. But I mean, it was still pretty damn cool.
Okay. Armada. Also, I dug the pilot, and shout out to Brett and Chris. Yeah, shout out to them as well. Do you know there's a brief? It's two. I've told this story many times over, but I don't know if I've ever told it with Brett on the show. I still one of the, and it's not just obviously you guys know how close I am to Brett. That I would, even if I was doing this pilot without this story I'm about to tell you, Brett would have a good role in the pilot. But So Chris, what happened was when we shot. So Brett and I have been friends. I mean, shoot, over 25 years now, and and at the time that I shot that pilot, I guess because how old was Blake? 3 years old or something?
I think so. What year?
Well, 2000. We shot it early 2007.
Oh no, he was born in 2007. Yeah.
Okay. So you were in baby world. So it's not, I don't feel too guilty. But like, when you have a baby, you're not around as much. I didn't talk to him as much, obviously, as I do now. And so we're walking out. We had shot 3 days at this place, which next door was where Brett was, I guess, working at the time too. But he was also performing at this place, Acme Comedy Club. And right next door is where we shot. So as I'm walking out, we would rap for 3 days. It was myself and Eliza. We were walking out. I can't remember who else was there. It might have been Winkleman. But we look over and Brett's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" I hadn't seen him in a while. And I was like, "Oh, we just shot a pilot." And I'm like, in my head, in his face, it looked like I took like ice cream out of someone's hand. And I was just like, and I always felt so bad about it. But it was between that and then also I didn't know Kate Mulligan that well. I know her from the stand-up comedy world, but I didn't know her that well. She's got such an insignificant role in it. She's just like a waitress who just kind of comes back and forth. If I would have known what Kate was capable of, I would have put her in so much more and done so much. I think eventually I was supposed to have her do more as the series went on. But anyway, it was nice to kind of revisit it. People said it was a time capsule, and it certainly felt like one. Let's see. Next one. This is Eric Hendershot. Wonder if you have a weird setting on here. My handle shows up normally on other group chats. Hi, Chris. It's Mr. I, crap and shits. Also, support Chris. I haven't changed anything. I don't think I did.
Well, because you say the name and it's not showing up for us as what it says. Like this says at Eric.
Yeah.
Your true identity has been revealed.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I mean, is that Luke? Is that something we could figure out? I don't know. Not sure. Luke can mess around with the settings, but I'm not sure. Mr. J. Anderson, Gerald's favorite historical period films, World War II.
Do you have a specific one?
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's my favorite. That's my favorite World War II movie.
Mm-hmm. I know it's a miniseries, but Band of Brothers. I feel like that is just so well. I mean, just untouchable in how good it is. Gosh,
so good. Brett, you got a favorite period piece?
No, because I just recently learned because of I think probably ADHD. I think that if I answer this incorrectly, I'm going to get in trouble. So anytime somebody asks me my favorite, I shut down.
That's fine.
But I agree with those picks of those films.
Al Rencha, Mephisto should have been introduced in Agatha. Wasn't he supposed to be? I heard that
it felt like it.
Probably would have been the way to go because then you could have brought him back in Vision Quest.
Yeah.
Isaiah Smith. In Chernobyl, it bothered me that they had English accents instead of Russian, but I got over it within minutes. I'll probably feel the same for Odyssey. I think most people will feel the same. Brett, here's one.
Hey, Ring.
Hey, Ring. Tom's penis. Do you know who that's from, Chris?
Are you guys doing Simlish? What is that?
Hey, Ring. Tom's penis. It's from Splash. Have you ever seen Splash?
Oh yeah.
Remember when they have to go into they propose as scientists, and Eugene Levy brings in John Candy and Tom Hanks, and they're pretending they're two Swedish doctors. So and he's trying to say these are Swedish doctors, and he starts talking to him in Sweden.
God, I haven't seen that movie in years. I need to rewatch that.
And he's talking in Swedish, and he says, and John Candy then turns to him and says that. He goes, "What'd you just say to him?" It's hilarious. Simon,
I watched a lot of Swedish pornography.
Yes, that's what it was. Simon Section. I think in the comics, Dr. Doom made a deal with Mephisto to save his mother. Okay, but what does Kristian care? He won't see the Odyssey teaser. Oh no Hades. I'm gonna watch that teaser. I'm definitely gonna watch that for sure. What do you mean, Ed? I don't know. Said I'm from Queens. Is little chef from Queens?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Lost. Okay, let's see. Next one is Gopal. I like the accent scene on Inglourious Bastards, but since my eyesight went to crap, I'm kind of down on subtitles. Yeah, I mean, well, that's why I can't watch anything without glasses anymore. It's terrible. My eyes are absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Gopal also says, wasn't it an early 90s Shakespeare movie where Denzel did the awful accent? It was so bad. Across some piano playing his brother. It was, did you see it, Chris?
That's the one I was talking about. I love this movie.
Okay.
Because it's just them using their American accents. They're just talking normal for them.
But there's
and
one,
then, you know, like Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson talk like themselves.
But there's one where there's a movie where Denzel tries to do a British accent.
Oh, no, I do know because I've seen clips of that and it is pretty brutal.
It's really bad.
It's him being like kind of Cockney at times too.
I don't know
So
what
it ends up in that kind of Dick Van Dyke land of just
I
like,
don't-
oh,
yeah, I don't-
you better do this.
I don't know what he's doing. He's sitting across from somebody, and it's bad. It's bad. Mike Joyce. Brett does a good Elmo. I wonder if he's still got it.
Elmo do that. It's a little hard to do because I need to warm up my voice, but
You better get ready, Elmo. You better get ready.
Elmo.
Yeah, it's tough. I can't do it like I used to. You know
Yes.
why? Because I ate grasshoppers at a restaurant last time.
What the hell is real ones?
Yeah. I
Why?
went full in it. It was a Oaxacan restaurant, and I was
Ooh.
like, "Oh, I'll have these fried grasshoppers." And I think some of their legs scratched my throat. I'm not
Oh.
joking.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Not joking. Michael D. Serious, folks. What are everyone's favorite movie scores this year to date? F1 probably so far. My current two are Sinners and Thunderbolts. I was going too, but I would go. I get Sinners is pretty damn good. The whole soundtrack was good. I got to re-listen to Thunderbolts, but yeah,
I'd probably go Sinners. That's the one I keep listening to on Spotify.
yeah, Sinners is a good one too. Okay, Anthony, how much for Brett to take his shirt off? $6,000.
Yeah.
Jake,
Perfect.
yeah, you had Flouse goal and it wasn't there. PLT texted me and said F it at the last minute. Oh, we hadn't hit the goal. I don't know what the goal was, but what was the goal? I don't remember what the goal was, but it was so long ago. But yeah, we had a lot of Flouse was like the lifeblood of the channel for like 3 months. And then he became a character in the Schmodown. He became a manager. He was a love interest to Jen Sturger. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that's when it had to go out, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Right at the end there. This is Lex Adams. How much for Brett to put his shoes on? Okay, so
Ooh.
we have 20 minutes left. However, we've hit the end.
Oh,
And we're at 62. So here's how it's going to work.
progress.
What we're going to basically say is we're going to let both of our guests once again plug their stuff. And then if you guys want to keep us going, you can. If not, we'll be back here tomorrow with Steph. But 62 is a good effort. Start with you this time, Brett. Where can they find you?
The Brett Sheridan channel, coming soon next Wednesday, 1 p.m. PT. And I'm going to be doing Final Vinyl, which is taking my vinyl records and reviewing them and talking like this and never finishing a train of thought. And then might be doing some DIY and some stuff like that too, that people have been asking me to do for years.
All right. And Chris Carr.
You can find me on @It's Chris Carr over on Instagram. You can find my podcast, Two Filthy Casuals, wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube. And you can find Speak Friend Studio on the internet. Give it a goog and come learn about voiceover.
Sorry. I hit the button too fast.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you guys check out Chris, check out Brett. Links are in the description for both of them. Thank you guys so much for being here. Just kidding. How about this? Is it one of those things? Is it going to be one of those things? Paul Hitchcock. Question for Brett. Are you aware of Harloff's love for Major League 2? And of these three sports movies, which one is R. Kelly likely to watch? Moneyball, Space Jam, or Major League 3? Back to the minors.
Oh.
Good. Good. That was good.
Damn.
Yeah, that was good. Brett, you want to answer that? You want to stay far away from it?
I'll stay away from that one.
That's fine. Okay. That being said, guys, thank you once again for being here. I appreciate it. For Chris Carr, Brett Sheridan. As I mentioned to you guys, we are really putting together and we're working literally as we were doing this. I got a text from my writing partner. She had a couple scenes she was working on. I'm putting the effort into this script to get it done. As soon as we are ready, I will let you know about that Kickstarter, about trying to get this thing done. I cannot thank you guys enough for your positive comments. Make sure you head on over to the Grasping at Straws pilot. Go check that out. I have the Guardian special, Christmas special coming out with Sam this Friday that we're going to look at. And then Guardians 3 will be next Tuesday. So again, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks to again, Paul coming in right literally when I was going to hit the button.
Hey.
Another question for Brett. What's more likely to make you be out of Nolan's Odyssey? American accents are complete and utter. So Chris, this is one. This is one of our moments. I got to send you this, but it's like I don't know what we were talking. We're talking about a Ben Affleck movie, and Brett,
being dirty and like, how we're so dirty these days, or something like that.
Right. It was like, because it was something. Since what happened basically. If Chris, do you mind if I get filthy here with the?
Oh my God, please do.
So in the movie, there's some ass eating that's happening, right? So we start talking about it, and Roxy goes, "Hey, do they still do ass eating? Was that a thing back then?" And Brett starts going, "Are you kidding me? Back then, the Romans,
the Greeks, the Greeks had peg boys that they would bring them on long boating trips that would sit on a peg, and so they'd be ready to go." Ready for action was the
you said open for business.
Open for business.
Anyway,
that's true. That's historically accurate.
So
tale as old as time, ass eating.
We are now closed for business. So, guys, thank you for being here. As always, thank you very much. And if you want to see what I was talking about with those clips, you can find all those clips about Peg Boys and whatnot. You go into the things that made us laugh playlist. You can check it out there. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys on the flip side. We appreciate you. If you haven't gotten tickets for this, please do it. August 9th, me and Sam. And if me not liking Ironheart is going to make you not come, well, that's too bad. But other than that, we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.